What makes Attack on Titan so unique, so alluring, so engaging? There are a few different aspects, but they all contribute to the construction of Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan has a unique assembly that is pretty rare in media, let alone in anime. It feels as if the entire story has been planned from the beginning, but we know that's just not true. So what is it that gives this show that feeling of completeness? There are a few different aspects that attribute to this perception, most notably the world building, the introduction of information, and the deep connections. The world of Attack on Titan is fairly similar to our own. It is inspired by Europe in many different ways, from examples of religion such as the Church of the Walls, to the structures of government, as they are inspired by monarchism and military oligarchies. These factors help make the world feel more familiar to the viewer, especially Western viewers. This makes the bar for entry very low, as it takes very little background information to get into the meat of the story. Don't worry, we still get plenty of backstory later, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. On top of this familiar world, there are also no complex elements that need exposition at the beginning. There's no power system or crazy abilities that need to be explained. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying there's no exposition. We get plenty of exposition. But exposition in Attack on Titan is not quite the same as any other anime, and we'll get to why in just a second. This is where the introduction of information comes into play. At the beginning of Attack on Titan, we are set in a world with basic knowledge that is shared with the characters. However, unlike most anime, the characters do not know more than the viewers. By just the second episode, we are on the same exact page as the main trio. This gives the viewer an immediate sense of connection to the characters, as we uncover the secrets of the world at the same time as them. Another important aspect of the introduction of information is the rate of introduction. We get new information every episode, multiple times an episode. In the first episode alone, we are introduced to the Survey Corps, the Colossal Titan, the Basement, and a handful of characters. In the second episode, we learn about the Armored Titan, the background of the world, and we get a glimpse of Eren's night in the woods. This rate of introduction doesn't really slow down until Season 3 Part 2, where we don't get a lot of information in the first half due to the conflict, but we see a massive info dump in the second half. As I mentioned earlier, this information is revealed to us at the same time as the characters, which assists in keeping the intense exposition fresh. The exposition in Attack on Titan doesn't feel like long-winded explanations, because it's almost as if the characters are discussing it with you. It's like you're in the carriage with the characters as they discuss Titan hardening. I think it's also interesting how Isayama uses common anime tropes to misguide the viewers, such as when Eren's head was steaming. This is a fairly common trope in other anime, especially after an injury. However, in Attack on Titan, steam is very obviously a sign of Titan's healing, or how Eren is kind of crazy as a child. But it doesn't seem that crazy because of how over the top some shonen backstories can be. And then later on we learn that he just wants to destroy the world. The last aspect of information introduction that I want to talk about is the timeline. The timeline in Attack on Titan is all over the place. We start at present day, then we go to the past, then we go back to the present, then we go back to the past a bunch of times, then we get a look at the past's future via the present, then we go to the past, but we do it via the future of the past, but it's also happening outside of time because it's in the paths. Yeah. It's all over the place. In fact, we spend around 12% of Attack on Titan in the past. That's about 10 episodes on backstory. This timeline plays a major role in how the viewers digest information. By jumping around, it helps keep the viewers on their toes, as you never know quite when a flashback is going to hit. Well, some of them can be predictable, but some come out of left field, like Eren's flashback during the female Titan arc. What were they thinking with that one? These flashbacks mostly serve to add additional context to characters. We can see this with Kenny's flashback as he's about to die, with Reiner's flashback in Liberia, and with Mikasa's as well. These all give us context for characters, and most of the time it's information that no one else gets. No one else really knew about Kenny's life. No one else really knows what Eren did for Mikasa. This is the only information that is exclusive to the viewer and one specific character, and in some cases it helps bring another level of connection to some of these characters. But this means that it's still the same as other information, as we do not get any information that the characters do not know. But in the case of flashbacks, it's even fewer characters that get the information. With that, we can finally move on from how information is introduced and talk about the final reason that Attack on Titan's writing is so unique. Everything is connected. Ever heard of ABC denominator D writing? No? Well, let me explain. ABCD writing is basically a way of connecting characters, places, and ideas. You take one character and you connect them to 3 different points. This helps ground the character within other characters and locations. Doing this with one character will create a fairly interesting character. But what if you do this with everything? Every person has 2 to 3 connections. Every location has 2 to 3 connections, and some of them are going to be the same. This is basically what Isayama does with Attack on Titan. He creates a huge web of characters and ideas and connects them all to each other. This is what causes that sense of completeness that we talked about earlier in the video, and it is a major reason that Attack on Titan has the acclaim that it does. Every detail feels intentional, and a lot of them are important to the plot, if not integral. This is very impressive on its own. However, the studios that created Attack on Titan take it even further. Wit and Mappa add a ton of details to the openings and endings, and a lot of them contribute to the spiderweb of information. This is sometimes done subtly, and sometimes it's a bit more obvious. For example, the Season 2 ending basically told the story of Ymir before it was even in the manga. The Season 3 Part 1 opening hints at Armin's demise and the amount of time that will be spent in the past in that first half of the season. And then there's the Season 4 Part 2 opening, which is a little bit more obvious. You know, the one with the rumbling? Yeah, I really can't tell what that might be foreshadowing. This detailing in the opening and ending is taken another step further with the soundtrack. Many people and places have their own musical themes. The royal family has Osk, the colossal titan has Appleseed, pure titans have the Attack on Titan main theme, and of course the armored titan has UC Big Girl. This adds another level of connection to each individual titan, as well as many locations. And it also adds another level of depth to this show. The introduction of information, the world building, and the connection that every aspect of Attack on Titan shares is the reason that Attack on Titan is so unique. And they all add up to one final bonus aspect, that being the balance they share. This show would not work if these 3 aspects were not balanced. A lack of world building leads to less engagement. A more complex world leads to less engagement. Less information or a slower introduction of information means that there will be less details. And if there are less details, that means less long-term world building and less connections. Even in construction, the different aspects of Attack on Titan are all connected and balanced, and Isayama was able to put them all together into this story, which is so impressive, especially since this was pretty much his first manga ever. Anyway, those 4 aspects are pretty much why I think Attack on Titan has had the success that it has. They work well together because they have to, and the show would not be the same if one of them was lacking. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think makes Attack on Titan so special in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you think about it. As always, don't forget to subscribe and be sure to join the Discord. I'll see you next week for another video. Bye!